Battlefield 6 is just destroying Call of Duty. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Man, another day goes by, another lot of pieces of news when it comes to Battlefield 6 stuff that's coming out. First off, I'm gonna just jump straight into it. All right, if you enjoy the video, like it, subscribe if you're new. If you want to see the downfall of Call of Duty, or at least some major change in Call of Duty, go ahead and leave a like. Let me know in the comment section down below, which game are you more excited for right now, Battlefield 6 or Black Ops 7? Let me know. And if you watch the entire video and you want to change your answer, you know, feel free to do so. But anyway, yeah, let's get into it. First off, I want to talk about the open beta. So I'm going to flash this right here on screen. The early access. So creators actually had the opportunity to play Battlefield 6. And from the looks of it, it looked like they dragged in a lot of Call of Duty players. And so a lot of people didn't really know what they were doing. It was kind of funny. I'm honestly probably going to be one of them, so I'm not here to laugh at anybody. But as you can see from the dates, August 7th to 8th is going to be the early access, which is actually this coming weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Then weekend 1 is August 9th and 10th, and then weekend 2, August 14th and 17th. I'm going to do my best to get some gameplay. However, I will probably be in the middle of a move, and so I don't know if I'm going to have internet, and I don't know if I'm going to have, you know, a bunch of stuff. But again, I'm going to try my best to get gameplay. Worst, I'm going to ask like a content creator if I could borrow like his gameplay. So, you know, either way, we're going to try to put up at least a couple of Battlefield 6 gameplays here on the channel because I do want to see how it looks, and I'm definitely going to be watching it. You know, if you guys are only Call of Duty fans, or, you know, you only play Call of Duty, this is probably one of the best opportunities to check out a different FPS if you're just sick of Call of Duty. You know, a lot of people are just sick of Call of Duty right now. COD is just very out of touch with their fan base. They don't know what the community wants. You know, if you look at the Google Trends data, there is way more hype on Google, Twitter than, you know, Black Ops 7 right now. And it's embarrassing. You know, I don't know a single casual person in my life who's still playing, you know, Black Ops 6 aside from like League play. Nobody's playing it except for making content. I just don't get it. You know, they've really chased away any like semblance of fun, and the only people left are doing it for a job. They're doing it for money. They're doing it for some kind of paycheck. And, you know, I think that's kind of sad. Gaming should be fun. And I think Battlefield 6 looks like it's really aiming to bring the fun factor back. There's a couple of reasons for this, but before I get into that, I want to show you guys another Modern Warzone poll, because this dude polled again, and he said, are you impressed with the Battlefield 6 reveal trailer and the gameplay from today? And he gave a couple of options of impressed, not impressed, or disappointed. With 10,000 votes, 87% of people said impressed. And again, this is a Call of Duty shill, you know, Twitter account. You know, this dude only cares about Call of Duty, and not that he only cares about it, but obviously like he prefers Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty is his bread and butter. This is how he got a living. His name is Modern freaking Warzone, right? Like he obviously cares about Warzone, cares about Modern Warfare, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, yeah, even he's drifting towards the impressed section for Battlefield 6 because what's there not to be impressed about? You know, let's talk about it. First off, let's just show the maps. This will be the last screenshot I think I show in this video, but yeah, look at these maps. They look gritty. They look realistic. We got Liberation Peak, Empire State, New Sobek City, Manhattan Bridge, Berean Offensive, Mirak Valley, Siege of Cairo, Saints Quarter, Operation Firestorm. Like, what I like about this is that they all feel like obviously real places, but they also feel like it's realistic. We're not playing in space. We're not playing on Nuketown for the millionth time. You know, we're not playing on some 3D modeled, you know, AI map. Like, it's just, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's plenty of those in Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 6. These recent Call of Duty games, guys, there have been some stinkers. There have been some weird maps. These maps look legit. They look like you could be dropped in and be like, wow, like it feels like immersive. I think that's the word I'm looking for, right? If you want a realistic, you know, real shooter that's not just Nicki Minaj running around, this Pink Bunny running around, and, you know, the map you're playing on, like, oh no, I just fell off the map because, you know, it just doesn't make sense that there's a gap here, or I don't know. I'm excited for it. You know, I think that these maps look really good. Again, we'll just have to see how they play. And again, just so you guys know, I'm not a Battlefield player. I don't come with a Battlefield background. I am a Call of Duty fan. And so if I end up getting this game, which I probably will, I'm gonna try it, but don't expect any like heater gameplays. I'm not even good at Call of Duty. A brand new shooter, yeah, forget it. But I think what's cool is that you'll see my honest, impressions, my honest takes on this as a, I guess, brand new Call of Duty fan, or not Call of Duty fan, but as a brand new, I guess, player in this franchise. And I think that's cool. I think that this franchise is going to see a lot of brand new players. Like I said, the destruction, the realism, like these are the kinds of things that Battlefield 6 is going to nail. And that's what's going to embarrass Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is just not realistic anymore. They gave it up. The last realistic Call of Duty game I can think of is maybe Black Ops 2, but even that was kind of not, like maybe Modern Warfare 3, the original one, because after that they went into the jetpacks, they went into, future, actually low-key, I think World War II from Sledgehammer Games, I think that was probably the last one, because they kind of got back to boots on the ground. Even Modern Warfare 2019, you'd say like, oh, that was so realistic, but no, they kind of ruined it near the end with the cosmetics. I think it was the Jigsaw cosmetic Halloween skin. They kind of ruined it at the end. I guess in the beginning you could say it was still kind of realistic, but there's a reason why, Activision, if you're listening, there's a reason why that game, Modern Warfare 2019, was so loved by the community. It's because it actually played like a real FPS shooter where you can run around and be like, yeah, this makes sense. The gun I'm using makes sense. The map I'm playing on makes sense. You log into Black Ops 6 right now, you're playing the same map you played 20 years ago. And then you're playing against Beavis and Butthead and Nicki Minaj and Kevin Durant and all these people, all these like weird crossover things. Like you can tell they basically threw out their morals for a paycheck. They want it to be Fortnite, and it works in Fortnite because Fortnite is designed around goofiness. Call of Duty is not. So don't inflate the two and don't make your game something that it's not supposed to be for a paycheck. And that's one of my biggest fears that EA is going to potentially do. Please, EA, do not go back on your word about goofy skins. I actually didn't even talk about that yet. But basically, the Battlefield 6 design director, he said in a quote that the game will be grounded like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 were. We don't need Nicki Minaj running around. And they basically promised that they will avoid goofy crossovers. I think it's really funny that they take a shot out there. Probably at Call of Duty, I guess you could say that there's a lot of games out there with goofy crossovers, but yeah, I think when it comes to goofy, I think Call of Duty fits the bill much more than a game like Fortnite or Apex, because those games are a little more cartoony, a little more like for fun in nature, where Call of Duty, supposedly is supposed to be a real, milsim shooter. And yeah, it doesn't seem like it is. Earlier in the video, I also mentioned that COD players played Battlefield 6 for the first time. And this is going to be me too. There was a lot of stuff that was like people were trying to jump shot and slide and, stay accurate, whatever, like movement gods, things like that. People were trying to drive vehicles for the first time and crashing. This is all going to be me. I have the luxury of not showing you those gameplays, but that will be me. And I think that's fine. I don't think that we need to gatekeep Battlefield 6 from COD players. I don't think only the serious campers and medics and blah, blah, blah are only allowed to play Battlefield 6. Like, I'm not a subscriber of that. All right. If you think that this game is fun and you want to give EA your $70, hopefully $70, hopefully not $80 this year, go ahead and do that, or try it out on Game Pass, which is also something I might do, because I just want to preface that since I'm not a Battlefield 6 player, I'm not a Battlefield player, there's a good chance that this game will just feel ultimately too slow for me. I might like it or might find it okay, but it might just straight up be too slow for me. And if that's the case, then, I'm not going to waste my time playing a game that I don't enjoy. I think my life is busy enough, and I guess you could say I'm doing the same with Call of Duty, but at the same time, there is some enjoyment out of it for Call of Duty for me, in terms of getting the camo or in terms of playing with some homies. There is some enjoyment. I get something out of it. Whereas, Battlefield 6, maybe if I'm playing by myself, yeah, it's not going to be the most fun. Actually, to be quite honest with you guys, I'd probably be down to play with you guys for Battlefield 6 if you guys need, people to play with. So go ahead and let me know in the comment section, maybe either your Discord or your Activision ID or anything like that. And we'll potentially go from there. We'll see how many comments I get, but no promises. Anyway, yeah, I talked about the Battlefield 6 maps list. Portal mode is returning as well. I think a lot of people are, very excited for this fan favorite mode to come back. I have some fears, though, about just Battlefield 6 in general. Sorry, one more thing before I get into the fears. Vince Zampella, the GOAT, the COD 4, Titanfall, Apex guy, he knows what he's doing as a developer. And the fact that he's working on this game is really good. I think this is the kind of thing that will bring people back, that will keep people playing. Because if you have people at the top who know what they're doing, it's hard to go wrong from there, right? I'll just be straight up honest. Do you guys trust Josie Gott? Do you guys trust Ashton Williams and all these other people from these other developers who quote unquote said they knew what they were doing? Do you trust that? I don't know, man. I think I'd rather trust someone who's tried and true, been in the industry for years, who has a proven track record under their belt. Even someone like Tony Flame, who made Black Ops 4, Cold War. And I mean, sure, they weren't great games at launch, but at least he tried. There was some heart and soul to it. Whereas these recent games, doesn't feel like there's any heart or soul. It feels like it's just a cash grab. I don't know who made Black Ops 6, which specific developer person who wants to put their name on that, because let's be honest here, who wants to put their name on that? It's a cash grab. It's a money haul. Nobody has any passion on that team. Nobody's out here oh yeah, I'm so proud of Black Ops 6. Put my name on it. No, nobody's doing that, right? I think Vince Zampella is going to slap Call of Duty for basically just letting him go for the COD 4 thing and the Modern Warfare 2 fiasco. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know about that, Google it. And that was a whole big thing. They basically let him go. And hopefully he's back with a vengeance. And I think he's tried a lot of different quote unquote COD killers with Titanfall and Apex. And they've all had their shot. But unfortunately, they've also all fallen short, and no game has dethroned Call of Duty faster than Call of Duty has dethroned itself. So as I wrap up this particular video, I just want to talk about a couple of fears. I don't want EA to go back on their word about goofy skins, okay? If you say you're going to do it, take it out or just don't include it. I don't think it's that hard, just to have your art team or your AI developers just don't make any. It doesn't matter how much money you're potentially losing. Keep it grounded, okay? Fix the game first before trying to sell crazy skins on people, okay? That's what I want Call of Duty to do, but they'll never do it. So hopefully EA, you listen and you understand. It's not about making a perfect game right at launch. That would be nice. But it's about making a game and then listening to feedback. Oh, that time to kill's too fast. Okay, we're going to change that. Oh, this gun is too strong. We're going to change that. It's about doing that kind of stuff and actually engaging rather than just shoving Nicki Minaj in my skin, shoving LeBron James, Luka Doncic, whoever you want in my face. Oh, buy this, buy this, buy this. Oh, you logged into the game? Here's 5 pages about the shop. No, we don't want that. We also don't want them to include predatory microtransactions. Okay, I'm talking about things like, pay to win elements, pay to win guns, battle passes that make no sense. No. Don't do any of that. Keep the good word, keep the honesty going with your franchise, because you have a real shot here. I know we say this every time about X-Defiant or Titanfall or Apex or Fortnite's gonna kill COD. We say this every year, but this has a good chance not to kill COD, but to take its player base. And I think that's every time a new game comes out and it has a chance to take, COD players away from COD, I think COD needs to be concerned. And this year, it looks really good. We'll have to see again when everybody actually gets their hands on it. And we're not just watching, not league play, but we're not just watching professionals play here and there. When everyone gets the game, we'll do a 1 month in dive in, and we'll see how that goes from there. And lastly, I don't want them to lack post game support content. Okay. Have stuff in the game that makes sense and have stuff in the game that is just fun. Okay. Just include stuff. Don't just let it go. Don't just let this game die right at launch. Okay. Please. That's just what I hope for. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for the video. I think Battlefield 6 is in a really strong position right now. And every couple of days, we get a lot of good information that drops that, I don't know. I think it should scare Call of Duty. I think it should scare COD fans. I think that, Treyarch, Black Ops 7, they should be doing the absolute most. They need to get people hyped again. They need to get people excited because nobody's talking about it. Everybody on the internet, on the Twitters, on anything, you know, they're only talking about Battlefield 6 right now. And so if I'm a developer for COD, I'm scared, I'm shaken. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. If you're still here, go ahead and drop the word goofy or goofy skins. Drop that. I'll see that and I'll give you a heart, you know? Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Peace out.